Satsang-64. Self-purification. 28th September 1935. Evening Satsang. You cannot describe contentment, or that which you call happiness. When a mute man eats sugar, he cannot describe its sweetness. Listen with extreme eagerness. It cannot be understood and cannot be known, even if it is explained. It cannot be imagined. Words cannot communicate it. The Supreme Self, Param Atman, is absolutely hidden. It can be understood only through being near saints and sages, by being in their company. That happiness of the Supreme Self, that contentment, is very deep. If the experience is to be told about any sign or indication, it is unutterable. It cannot be described. Hand or facial symbolic signs are only the qualities of those limbs, and they are therefore limited and inadequate. Even the deepest power of speech, which is called the para, or supreme speech, the original energy, cannot show it by any indication, as it is indescribable. It cannot be known without the help of the Sadguru. Only one who searches oneself through inquiry can receive the blessings of the Sadguru. What is the experience of the one who receives the blessings of the Sadguru? That one experiences that he himself is Param Atman. That is the result of one's self-search. When you understand that you are nothing, then what remains is only one, Brahman. This is called the natural state of samadhi, or sahaja samadhi. If one walks and talks, it is called sairat samadhi. This is a state of seemingly insane activities, but a resting in inner contentment, completely happy, without doubts. People see this abnormal behavior, but the one in this samadhi is not aware that he is behaving at all. The contention of some is that the Supreme Self is witness to all. But those who know the reality say that witnessing all is but a state of mind, and the reality is devoid of any particular state or hypothetical position. Param Atman is beyond all the four bodies and beyond the four sheaths of consciousness that is, mind, intellect, thinking, and pseudo-I or ego. When you realize that what you perceive is not an objective thing or any material, but that all is Brahman, the complex of I, the ego, will vanish. When the notion of I is dropped, then the idea of you also drops. The disappearance of I is the sign of realization. That which is, is. It is neither the individual jiva nor God Shiva. That duality does not appear there. We also cannot say that there is nothing. That is the indescribable bliss. The speech, the word, is all illusory. The word conveys the meaning, but it disappears as soon as the meaning is understood. The word ends. After giving the message, the word goes away. In Brahman, the word is false. Only its meaning should be taken. The word is different from what is seen, and what is beyond it is Brahman, reality. Pure absolute experience is incapable of being pointed at. Self-experience is without the factor of giving any attention to it. To give attention to it is a quality. When you try to look at it, the other comes into being. The nature of attention is such that automatically, very naturally, there is some production by it. To be capable of producing is its specialty. It is the nature of attention, its inherent quality, which cannot be destroyed by anything. Only by the knowledge of reality does attention disappear. It is said that sky is filtered through a strainer, and thus the core of the life energy is obtained. But that is also imagination. The so-called rule of experience is that it is not possible without duality. Experiencing means duality. The mother of experience is the daughter of a barren woman, which is the original illusion, or Mula Maya, and only a concept of imagination. This illusion, this imagination, is vehemently uttered as a bad word. This is known only by those who know their own self. Where there is the phenomenon of experience, there is duality. Therefore, in the true existence of reality, there is no place for experience. In the wake of self-realization, duality shies away. The sun is the cause of day and night. Without the sun, you cannot say, this is day or this is night. Experience and reporting experience to others are only within the field of illusion. Had it been the case that I am one thing and Brahman is something other, then it would have been possible to tell somebody about the experience. See the wonder of this. He who was not born was sleeping, and in the dream he saw another dream. In it, he achieved knowledge by the blessings of the Guru, and then he disappeared. When there was nothing, what remained was his natural, essential existence. He was awakened while he was discussing what knowledge means. If you can catch the meaning of this, you will also have similar contentment. There is unity without the intervention of speech. The entity saw a dream within a dream, and he became awake by having arisen from sleep. Since you have not grasped this explanation, I will tell you again. You are one without birth. It is your delusion that you are born. It is your feeling. The dream within the dream is your thinking about what is essential and what is non-essential. And when you realize that you are the self, Atman, then you have this experience. You felt that the world is illusory. You felt that you are awake and that it is your waking state. You felt that you have obtained experience, but still your confusion, your illusion, is persisting as it was. You are yet talking about things in the dream. When there is true awakening, even the sense of being disappears. Even the sense that you are the self also dissolves. That is called knowledge beyond words. Now, have you understood what is beyond words? What remains? Only Brahman remains. Absolute, pure consciousness. The bondage that was false is cut. The ocean of worldly life is proved to be a mirage. Since childhood, when some awareness of this life dawned, The fear of death was imposingly menacing. As the vast experience of the universe was before our eyes, there was a constantly increasing hope to achieve and possess something very great, some kind of property. It was felt that one must have an extraordinary possession in the present, and also for the future. For future births also, it was thought correct to have some great possession. So a very strong desire was harassing one relentlessly. There was a firm conviction that this world is real, and that the next world that one is going to enter is also real. But now all that has proved to be futile, and one realizes that this seemingly real world is only a mirage. Therefore, not a single thing is to be possessed and accumulated. The worldly existence seemed to be an ocean, but it proved that there was not even a drop of water. Now it is all right. The illusion is dissolved. The one who was without birth was liberated from birth and death. The man thought that he had become a tiger, but when he was shown a real tiger, his illusion of being a tiger was gone. He who was not a family man was being possessed by the ghost of family life. That ailment was removed, and he was released. He was always non-dual. The false duality was broken. He was engrossed in the world of people, and then he was brought to his own aloneness. He was awake, and then he was awakened. He was deathless, and was made deathless. The fear that he had harbored in his mind was removed. He whose very nature is wisdom, the self, was made the self. The nectar of immortality was given the quality of deathlessness. One who does not die is the deathless self. One who cannot die is the immortal nectar. Even then, he was obsessed with the idea that he is mortal. But that obsession also was destroyed. He was made immortal. Now he will never die. One who is free was given freedom. There is no necessity of having hope of freedom, because there is no trace of bondage. He was already united, already free, but he was given unity. He was feeling that he was thrown out, hanging, but then he became convinced that he is not separated or estranged, that he is originally spread out everywhere, all pervading, essentially one alone. After many days, he met himself. The division of the undivided was gone. All the spiritual practices bore fruit. God, whose real place is in the shrine room, the inner sanctum of the temple, was properly placed there. He was having a dream that he was wandering in a forest, but now he is convinced that he is properly in the shrine room of the heart where he belongs. That which he was running after, although it was always near him, he now has. He was sorrowful because of a very bad dream. That is now gone, and he has regained his quality of being and a knower of Brahman, totally convinced that nothing has ever happened.